Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, February 2nd. All right, a lot has happened in the past 72 hours. This video is a crypto update. Let's go ahead and get right into it. First, I'm going to address the big crash. And is it a crash? I mean, over the past, let's see, about 5 days or a week or so, you're down about 10 to 15%, depending on which crypto you're looking at. All right. We'll start off by talking about the big wig, Bitcoin, and why is this happening. So on Friday, the new administration announced 25% tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and an additional 10% on China. Remember, China's already being tariffed. In response to that, yesterday, the Prime Minister of Canada, Mexico's president, responded with 25% tariffs on the U.S. Canada has some different stipulations, but what does this all mean? All right, I'm not sure if you care about those details, but this is, by definition, you could say, has started a trade war. Who do tariffs hurt? Who do tariffs help? All right, so tariffs are going to hurt most consumers because the price of goods that are imported from those nations are going to go up. That cost is going to be passed down to the consumer, who's the everyday person buying those goods and services. All right, this is not an analysis on tariffs, but just to let middle class, lower class families are going to be impacted more because they have a lower income. That price, whether it's $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a year more, is going to hurt their bottom line of their family income. For the upper earners, high income earners, or rich folks, they're going to still feel it, but it's not going to affect them as much because they have so much income to spare. We'll keep it as simple as that. Those revenues would go to the government, right? That has those tariffs on. So now, you're in a trade war. This creates uncertainty. Uncertainty breeds fear in the market. What's the first to sell off? Cryptocurrencies. Why is that? Cryptocurrencies are speculative assets. What do I mean by speculative? Right? For Bitcoin, for example, there's no balance sheet, right? There's no net income statement, none of that. So Bitcoin, you could say, has no intrinsic value. And that's a whole nother argument I'm not going to get into, but these are the first assets to sell down because there are some large institutions or even some large retail traders that are leveraged right now in the market. And why could that be a problem? All right, what is leverage? Let's start there. So leverage is when you borrow money to buy assets. All right, so you're levered on the S&P 500, NASDAQ, so on and so forth, because you're in a 2-year bull run. Folks are looking at statistics saying bull runs, you look at the 90s, bull runs usually go 3 years, right? Tariffs seem to be off the table until recently. So now those leverage positions are going to either be sold off, right, because they're riskier, or B, they are going to be margin called. And that's going to put downward pressure on stocks because, right, these assets have to be sold. These leveraged assets have to be sold off. Where do those big institutions or those retail traders get the money to either get margin called or sell off those assets and take those losses, right? Because when a leverage position goes down, you have to pay for those losses. They're going to look at their crypto portfolios first. Right? Crypto's run up significantly over the past 2 years since the floor. So now they're going to take those profits and they're going to pay off leverage, pay off margin. That's one reason for the sell-off. Another reason for the sell-off is fear. Just fear, uncertainty, and doubt, referred to as FUD. So that's why this is happening. Things to pay attention to this evening. Futures trades opens up, and Bitcoin usually trades 2 or 3 times what the NASDAQ trades. NASDAQ is also at all-time high. So what I'm getting at is the market intrinsic value. I'm not going to go into the details of what the numbers are, but potentially the S&P and the NASDAQ could be overvalued by 50% if you look at the Warren Buffett indicator. So what does that mean? What does that mean for me and my crypto portfolio? Again, it goes back to cryptocurrencies being speculative assets. Nobody really can point to a spreadsheet and say, this is what Bitcoin should be valued at. This is what XRP should be valued at. This is what Ethereum should be valued at, right? And I know all the news on all the cryptos. I understand them. I've been in them since 2009. However, you have to realize that these are still speculative assets. When folks need money, they're going to pull from here first. They're going to de-risk their portfolios. So Bitcoin with the $2 trillion market cap, if you think retail traders have more than 10% of that, But I'm going to tell you right now, you're mistaken. So these big institutions are going to de-risk because they don't know what's going to happen, right? Uncertainty, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We need clarity on where these tariffs are going to go. Is this going to spark a global trade war? And like I said, it affects the consumer. Last point here, and I'll move on to the next point, is that if the consumer's hurt, the consumer drives the economy. When that happens, GDP numbers are going to go down, stock assets are going to go down. If they're already overvalued, where's the floor? You have to think about it like this too. You have a bid and an ask price. In a major sell-off, who's going to be buying? Where's the bid, right? If everybody's running to sell, the bid just keeps going down and down and down. Could trigger a snowball effect, right? So that's kind of the why. Where's the bottom? Nobody has a crystal ball. Whoever you listen to on YouTube, whoever you listen to on CNBC, whoever, nobody knows. Just like nobody knows where there's a top, right? But we can point to technical analysis. So let's look at the 1 month here, right? So you're right at the Fibonacci line I have drawn here, 98,000 is kind of falling behind that. The next line of support I have here is that 89,189, right? So if you're starting to break through here and you don't get a bid, like I was saying before, could fall back to the 89,000 mark. And then if this fear intensifies, I've heard rumors that President Trump might double the tariffs. So again, uncertainty. Nobody has a crystal ball. I would say, to kind of give you some ease, if you're long term, and the money that you have in cryptocurrencies, they're not paying your bills, your mortgage, your car payment, I would, dollar cost average down. What is dollar cost averaging? As the price goes down to your next targets, don't just say, all right, it's down 2%, I'm going to buy. As it goes down, you got to use a little technical analysis. All right. So if I was in Bitcoin, let's say at 100,000 in right now, this is hypothetical. This video, here's a quick disclaimer for the video. This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. So take everything you hear here with a grain of salt. I'm giving you my opinion. I've been through some ups and downs in the market over the past 12, 14 years. So if you're going to dollar cost average, you got to look at these points. Right now is a good point, to start buying. You're seeing a bid right here on Bitcoin right now. It was down 2%. Now it's rising up. So again, this Fibonacci line, and why are these important? You have to remember that algorithms are trading, right? These large institutions have bots that are trading as well as human traders, but a lot of the money is algorithm-based trading. It takes emotion out of it, and it just trades off technicals. That's why you have to pay attention here. So these AIs, right, they know where the buying zones are, right? The AIs are probably buying in this zone from 98,000 down to 97,000, and then breaks through that zone. These AI algorithms are going to trade off, as well as humans. All right, they're going to trade off and look at this next line of support. All right, let me take a sip of my water here. I've been talking. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Where's the bottom? Again, like I said, nobody knows where the bottom is, just like nobody knows where the top is. Could Bitcoin go to $1 billion? Sure. Could it go to zero? I don't know. I'm not going to tell you that I know, but I'm looking at technicals. Should you buy or sell? Again, this is not personalized financial advice. What I'm doing right now is dollar cost averaging down and buying at the supports. Okay, so if you miss the sell, if you're just looking at your crypto portfolio now midday on Sunday, and you see you're down, 15% on the week, the worst thing, hypothetically you could do right now is sell because you're at a major support. Same thing with the next support down. If you were going to try to trade in, trade out, if you break this major support and you break 97,000, if I was going to sell, maybe sell there, buy back at 89. Again, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if any of these presidents or heads of state are going to come on the news and announce we're rolling back this, rolling back that. And then again, the algorithms catch a bid and you just missed a 2-3% rally unless you have stop buy, stop losses. Again, very complicated to trade in and out. Already we're up 0.25% since I've been up, right? Because you're at this support level. What happens from here? Again, we need clarity. The markets need clarity. You got to see how futures trade tonight. If you're in it for the long term, and the money that you have invested, again, is not going to pay your bills, stay calm, remain patient. Could you see, let's zoom out here. Let's go to the 5-year, here's the next Fibonacci lines that I have. Could you see if there's a recession, Bitcoin retrace to the 60,000 support, right? A major support? It's possible. Could you withstand 30% down in your portfolio? Could you withstand 60% down in your portfolio? Do you have cash on the sidelines to buy? Those are the questions I would be asking myself. Anything is possible. Yes, it could sell down there, or it could catch, a bid and sell up. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. All right, Ethereum's kind of been beat down. All right, I don't have any Ethereum, but if you were on the sidelines, you're waiting to DCA in. Again, here's a good opportunity. You have another support at the 2400. And just pay close attention to it. Just like I said in the beginning of the video, remember these are speculative assets, right? There's no use case for them necessarily at this moment. I know there's going to be regulation coming out, but again, if you believe in it long term, buy the dip and DCA down at the technical areas. All right, I want to talk about XRP now. So, all right, XRP, let's refresh this, get the live price. All right, 262 again. You have a major support here that it just hit at that 250, right? It's bouncing off that support right now, but again, you got to pay attention. The next thing that can happen today is futures come online, and like I said before, a lot of leverage positions have to unravel. Folks are going to be buying put options, trying to get out of those leverage positions, and it could drive the price down to the 230s, even the next support to $2. If you see a major sell-off, the next line of support 144. I understand all the use cases for XRP. Bank of Japan's coming on next week. Same thing though. This is a speculative asset. Just because you know those facts, you don't know how it's going to trade in the short term. If you believe in it long term, then what you're doing is you're DCAing at supports. All right. If this is your your lunch money and your mortgage payment, totally different analysis you have to do there on what risk you're willing to take and if you're willing to write it down 50%. So let's look at the 1 day major sell off. Again, folks are going to be de-risking their portfolios. This is almost a $200 billion market cap. So there's key players in here. And, you don't know when they sold, but the algorithms did sell. Now you have a buy off the major support. That's why you pay attention to technicals. All right. There's algorithms trading. There's folks trading, professional traders with large backings, millions and billions of dollars. They're looking at the technicals. So if you're going to sell and you're going to try to buy back, don't just look at the percentage or the price. You got to look at the major supports. All right. So I think I addressed, what's causing this problem. We talked about that. Where's the bottom? Nobody knows. Where's the top? Nobody knows. Should I buy or sell? That's completely up to you. There's no financial advice on this channel. Personally, I'm holding strong, looking at the supports, considering buying more at those supports. And then what happens from here, we don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. I follow a big 401k form. A lot of folks are like, hey, I'm in retirement. I need this money for retirement. Probably going to go sit on the sidelines until this is all figured out. That's going to drive prices lower on the market. It's going to snowball this effect. So this week is going to be big. There's a lot of earnings this week. You're going to need some more clarity. And now you kind of have a standoff against government. So in my personal opinion, the S&P, the Dow, the Russell 2000, and the NASDAQ, they're overvalued. So could they fall 20%? Absolutely. Could they go up 20%? I think the odds of that are, in the short term, in the next 3 months, are a little bit lower. So good luck to it. All of you out there, hope you make a couple bucks. Pay attention to the technicals. Do not, get scared. You kind of understand what's going on now. Be careful who you listen to, who you take advice from. And have some fun out there. If you believe in this long term, this is just a little blip in the sand. If you go back to the 5-year, look, this thing's up 844% in the past 5 years. So the story's changed. I know we're expecting a lot of news, the SEC case, Japan. Another big down driver on XRP right here is that, Ripple just released another $1 billion of tokens on the first. Unfortunate timing, right? So it's not necessarily dilution because all the coins were created at the time of XRP's, birth, call it. However, putting those extra shares on the market, if you look at the 5-day, that sell-off kind of happened, on the first. Kind of, got an extra billion coins here. Who's buying those coins? Plus selling pressure. You have a major, past 5 days down 14.3%. So that's another driving factor. Best of luck to you out there. Again, hope you all make a couple bucks. The last thing I might ask is if you just press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon, subscribe for all the updates. I'm definitely going to be providing more updates throughout the week. Again, pay attention to the technicals. Next line of support, we just bounced off at the 250s. Next line after that, 230s. Next line after that, 210, and potentially $2 a coin. You keep blowing past those numbers. Next line, 137. And at that point, you would probably see the entire stock market selling off 10+%. All right. Good luck to you all out there. Thanks for listening. And again, please press that like, subscribe. And this is not financial advice. Entertainment. This is for entertainment purposes only. See you on the next one.